Assalamu alaikum, my dear brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Twins of Faith 2015 day 2. I'm here with Shaykh Murad. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi
How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Enjoying the conference?
Alhamdulillah, so far so good, alhamdulillah.
So, mashallah, we are very blessed that in 2 weeks' time you're going to be with us with new Muslim here to have a special retreat with new Muslims. Maybe you want to talk a little bit about the topics we chose together, the Seerah of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and how it can be relevant for people who just entered the faith.
Alhamdulillah, the topics that we chose, of course, it's to the Seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the signs of the hour. But I'll elaborate on the first segment, the Seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is unique, it's amazing, in that it explains to us the Qur'an and the Sunnah. There are many verses, many ahadith. You can only understand it fully when you go back to the Seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It gives you context. So the happenings, the instances, the different coincidences that have taken place in the Seerah of Rasulullah all explain to us many things that we take for granted. So looking at the Seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the Meccan period, we have, tales of bravery, tales of, honor, how the companions, what they did, what they went through. So we can relate to that, and new Muslims need that because at times they think they're all alone.
Right.
Like the companions that were there who had become Muslim, some of them might have felt that, but then they had their other brothers that really stood together and bonded with them, giving them that strength and courage to continue on. So looking at it, we have, stories of the sahaba, such as Salman al-Farisi radiyallahu anhu, that we may touch on and look at, inshallah, with some detail because it's important. Likewise with Abudrrahmann radiyallahu anhu, and his tale of seeking knowledge and coming to Mecca, and looking at the tale of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, what brought him to Islam and how he brought his mother to Islam by the will of Allah. So it's really an important thing, not just for new Muslims but for anyone.
Right.
And like we said, the Seerah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is full of lessons, we can say life lessons that we can benefit from, inshallah, in a great way. In the Medinan period, we'll look at a few examples as well, for that indicates to us how to kind of, organize our lives, how to deal with people, how to be with non-Muslims, how to deal with Muslims. At times you have people who aren't the best of Muslims. How should you deal with them? So these are some of the things that we'll be touching on, inshallah.
When we mean Seerah, can we say biography? Is it the correct translation, or not biography, but because for the people who don't know the word Seerah, yes, what would be the best translation?
Well, Seerah, you'll find it commonly put as biography, but I don't think that's a very accurate translation. It's more than simply a biography. Biography just tells us who the person is, with some detail about his life. The Seerah of Rasulullah is far more than that. It's something that we can look at as being a living record of Rasulullah's life. So every single thing that happened in his life has been documented, from mundane things to very important things, how he lived his life day in, day out with the companions. So it's basically a record. The Seerah is a record of what he did, what he said, how he was with others.
And especially we are interested as new Muslims how he was with let's say people who are coming into the faith. Can you mention a few examples of some companions who embraced the faith, and we know that the Prophet was always looking at the talents and the skills that someone could bring.
Of course.
There are many examples of companions, and I'm sure we could maybe share with our viewers, one or two.
I'll give you one example. This is one of the most profound stories that I have personally, I was amazed with, and I can never forget this story. It's with the companion whose name is Thumama ibn Uthal radiyallahu anhu. Thumama, before Islam, was the king of Yamama, very influential person, and initially he hated Islam, and he was bent on killing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He tried to kill him, but he was never successful. So instead he began killing companions. He was very successful in that. Until one day Allah Jalla wa Ala willed that he be caught by the Muslims. So he was traveling from Yamama to go towards Mecca to make the Hajj. But he lost his way. Instead of going towards Mecca, he went towards Medina. And he was captured. He was brought to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the people who captured him did not know who he was. Had they known, they might have killed him. But then here, They brought him to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Rasulullah saw him and he knew him. He told the companions, do you know who this man is? They said, no, Ya Rasulullah. He told them, this is Tumam ibn Uthal. And they said, Ya Rasulullah, basically that man that killed the companions and tried to kill you. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, yes. They said, what should we do with him? Rasulullah said, nothing, be good to him. So they tied him in the masjid to a pillar. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wanted to give Tumam ibn Uthal first-hand information on Islam. Because all he heard at that point was propaganda. What Quraysh said about Rasulullah, what people were spreading rumors and whatnot. So he never had a chance to really...
so they tied him? So
he could get the first
can listen
and yes.
Inshallah.
So he began seeing the Muslims in their own, and he more or less became Muslim. But the change was so profound. He said that by Allah, before, Ya Rasulullah, you were the most hated person to me, but now you're the most beloved. Your city was the most hated, but now it's the most beloved. And your deen was the most hated, but now it's the most beloved to me. Subhanallah. Allahu Akbar.
Thank you for sharing that story. I didn't know that story, so
we'll go more detail afterwards, inshallah.
Enlightening me. For the people who will come to the retreat, you will have the full detail of it.
Inshallah.
We're going to go for a short break and we'll be right back with Shaykh Murad, inshallah. Jazakallah khair.
I found the truth.
I found the truth.
Я нашел правду. J'ai trouvé la vérité.
Ich habe die Wahrheit gefunden.
Ik heb de waarheid gevonden.
Ho scoperto la verità.
He encontrado la verdad.
I found the truth.
Saya jumpa kebenaran.
I am Muslim.
I'm Muslim.
Я мусульман. Je suis musulman.
Ich bin Muslim.
Ik ben een moslim.
Adesso sono musulmano.
Y por eso, ahora soy musulmán.
I'm a Muslim.
Sekarang saya Muslim.
ตอนนี้ค่อยเป็นมุสลิม
أنت والعطر الرداء حرر النفس ولا تحيا هباء يا ربيعا أنت والعطر الرداء خذ قرارا وانطلق لا تنتظر ليس كل الناس أهل للعلاء خذ قرارا وانطلق لا تنتظر ليس كل الناس أهل للعلاء ليس كل الناس أهل للعلاء بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا جاء نصر الله والفتح ورأيت الناس يدخلون في دين الله أفواجا فسبح بحمد ربك واستغفره إنه كان توابا لا تبالي فالمعالي بالتحدي لا سواه كن سعيدا كن فريدا عش بفخر في الحياة لا تبالي فالمعالي بالتحدي لا سواه بالتحدي لا سواه.
We are back at Twins of Faith 2015 with Shaykh Murad. Now we're going to talk about the second topic that we chose for the retreat, the signs of the end of time. As we were talking, most of the minor signs already occurred, and we thought it's a good idea for new Muslims to delve into the subject because some of them are confused of what's going on in this century, and there are a lot of challenges. So we thought it would be also good for the Iman boost, so they can realize that the Prophet announced many things that already occurred.
Yes.
So can you just give a short introduction on the topic and why it's a subject that matters not only for new Muslim but for every Muslim that seek knowledge, inshallah.
Well, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The signs of the hour are very, very important because it's part of our faith, part of our aqidah. We believe that one of the pillars of faith is to believe in the last day. So whatever accompanies that belief, likewise is part of that pillar of faith. So looking at the minor signs, the major signs, they're important from that aspect, being a part of our faith. The second thing is that we have to be prepared for the end of times. We don't know when it will take place, but we know that the final hour will come, as Allah describes it, baghta, suddenly. You know, you'd least expect it, and suddenly it just comes and happens. So one has to be prepared for that time, and it's coming. As Allah Jalla wa Ala says, إِنَّهُمْ يَرَوْنَهُ بَعِيدًا وَنَرَاهُ قَرِيبًا. We, human beings, see it as far off, in the distant future, but Allah sees it very close to us, subhanAllah. So that in mind, we have to no doubt prepare ourselves for that end of time by the knowledge to equip ourselves with the knowledge of these signs, minor and major.
Right. So can you give us, for those who don't know, one or two minor signs that already occur that are quite easy to see nowadays, so for the viewers to understand?
Well, the first minor sign that took place was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam being commissioned as a prophet.
Okay.
That's the very first one. That's over 1400 years ago. And the last one, the minor signs, is the Khuruj al-Mahdi, so the Mahdi coming forth. We'll be discussing this in the retreat further, inshallah. But these are the two, the beginning and the end. And in between, we have a multitude of different signs. And the scary thing is, we know that we're closer to the end of time when signs occur over and over again. We call them the recurring signs. So one of these recurring signs would be the spread of riba, for example, or the spread of zina, fornication, adultery, spreading within communities.
In every city now.
Yes, it's everywhere, subhanallah. So this is a minor sign that is quite prevalent and common. Look at riba, the spread of usury and mortgage-based loans. It's basically a part of the fabric of life. Muslims, non-Muslims, everyone, they deal with riba. To buy a house, to buy a car, whatever it be. So these were told to us in the past that they would become the common and norm in society, and they have become. But looking at them as being general indication, but there are very, very specific hadith that talk about certain incidents that have taken place today. It seems as though Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is with us, telling us about these things. That's how accurate these ahadith come. So specifically in terms of the fitna, which is also a sign of the end of times, the strife and the struggles towards the end of time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us of specific incidents that would take place, and these would mark basically the beginning of the end. We've witnessed them today, subhanallah. Very scary. Looking at the ahadith and looking at what we have today in the world, it's a shocking correlation, subhanallah.
So it's happening. And also there's the topic of the Dajjal, right? So
yes.
It's something that I read that towards the end of time in khutbahs there will be less and less talk about it. And to be honest, I've been Muslim for 3 years. I never heard of khutbah on the topic of the Dajjal. So can we say it's also an indicator of...
Of course, the hadith states that one of the signs of a Dajjal, which is a major sign, and as Rasulullah described it, the worst fitna, the most severe fitna that will hit the ummah is a Dajjal. The reason being is that his fitna comprises two things. The first is that he's able to pull you away from your faith by feeding you misconceptions and doubt. Second of all, he would basically give you whatever you would wish and desire for. So these two are combined to make his fitna even more deadlier to any Muslim or non-Muslim alike. So that said, Ad-Dajjal being a major sign, Rasulullah told us about his fitna, what he would do, what's to come. And there's so much information on it in the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But as you mentioned previously, the fact that Imams and Khatibs don't speak about him, that in itself is an indication that we're towards the end of time.
Why do you think so? Because are they scared, or are we scared, or why is the reason? Of course, the Imam is the most knowledgeable. But what is the topic that people really don't want to go into?
Well, with the Dajjal, I think the issue is that we would think we have more important things than a Dajjal.
I see.
Look at the material world that we're living in, economy. That's a big issue, a hot button topic. The depreciation of the funds and money that we have, another hot button topic, subhanallah. So with these hot items that are, what we can relate to directly, they take priority.
There are so many challenges in the Ummah now, so maybe in the khutbahs they want to address it, whereas the Dajjal is something to come.
Yeah, they say it's tomorrow. Next thing you know, we never speak about it.
Inshallah, some khutbahs will be more focused on that. But thank you so much for your time. We'll be with you in 2 weeks' time. We cannot wait to be with you, spend the whole weekend. May Allah bless you for your work and for the dawah you're doing.
And you as well, brother. Jazakumullah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much.